The viewers, welcome to another biology presentation. So in this presentation we are continuing from where we ended. So I did made the first video where we answered question 1 up to question 2. So this is our question 3 right here. So our question 3 reads, figure 3 represents bones of a forelimb of a mammal. So this is the figure right here. So this figure is labeled H, I, J, and K. So before we even look at the questions, we can try to identify these structures. So the part labeled I, this is called the humerus. Okay. So this part labeled I is the humerus bone. Then this part labeled J, this is a joint, and this is called the hinge joint. Okay. So this is the hinge joint. Then here we have this bone H, then we also have bone K. So the bone that is on top of the arm right here, this is the radius bone, and this is the ulnar bone, the one that is at the bottom of the arm. So we are saying this is the ulnar bone, okay, and this one is the radius bone. So it's very important that you know these parts. So we have the humerus bone right here. We have the joint which is right here, where we have the hinge joint. Then we have the ulnar bone and the radius bone. If there was another part here, the scapula, like we can see, we can have another joint which we call the bone socket joint. So let us now look at the questions. So here is our question. So which letters correspond to the following structures? 1. Radius, 2. Ulnar, 3. Humerus. So we can look at our structure now. So the radius bone is the one with letter H. Here, H. Then the ulnar bone is the one with letter K. Right here. Then the humerus bone is the one with letter I right here. So the humerus bone is the one with letter I. So these are the answers. Let us now look at question B right here. Identify the type of joint found at J. So at J right here, we have the hinge joint. So no need to waste too much time. We have the hinge joint. Okay, so here, let's now look at another question. Give a reason for your answer in B1 above. So why have we said that this is a hinge joint? We have said that it's a hinge joint because it only allows movement in one direction only. So it just say it allows movement. It allows movement only in one direction. So the hinge joint only allows movement in one direction only. Okay, so when we talk about the bone socket joint, it allows movement in all directions at an angle of 360, but for this one it only allows movement in one direction at an angle of 180. So let us now look at the second question, which is right here. Name two disorders of the joint at J. So at J, we have said, we are saying we have the hinge joint. So what are some of the disorders that are at J? We have bone dislocation. So you can just say dislocation. We can also have gout. Okay. You can even say gout. Apart from this, we also have arthritis. So we can write our answer here that we also have arthritis. Okay, so the disorders of joints at J, which is the hinge joint, we have dislocation, or we can say gout. We also have arthritis. So let us now look at our second question. Alright, so this is our question D right here. Explain why a bone is considered to be a living tissue. So it's just carrying 2 marks here. So a bone is considered to be a living tissue because it is made of living bone cells and it contains blood vessels. It can also grow and it produces the red blood cells, and it can be infected by bone marrow cancer. So we have said that a bone A bone is made of living bone cells. It contains blood vessels. It can grow. It can grow and produces red blood cells, and it can also be infected. It can also be infected by bone marrow cancer. Okay, so a bone is made of living bone cells. It contains blood vessels. It can grow and produces red blood cells, and it can also be infected by bone marrow cancer. This is why a bone is considered to be a living what? Tissue. So we have answered our question 3. Let us now look at our question 4. So this is our question 4 right here. The question reads, Figure 4 shows a schematic diagram indicating the movement of water in a plant from the roots to the leaves. So this is a schematic diagram that is indicating the movement of water in a plant from the roots to the leaves. So you can see right here, this is our diagram. Okay, this is our diagram right here. So let us now look at the questions. So these are the questions. So I'm going to start with our question A1. Name the part labeled P. So we need to identify the part that is labeled P, which is this part right here. So this part is the root air cell. Okay, so this is the root air cell. Then identify substance O. So we need to look at the diagram so that we identify substance O. So we can see that here we have the guard cells, then you have substance O that is coming out. Okay, so this substance O is water vapor. Okay, so you can write here water vapor is diffusing out. So here substance O is water vapor. Okay, then apart from this, let us look at the other question. What name is given to the space through which substance O comes out of the leaf? So they want us to identify the name that is given to the space through which substance O comes out of the what? Of the leaf. So we can see here we have the space right here where substance O is diffusing out of the leaf. So this space is called the stoma. Okay, so singular stoma, plural we can say stomata. So because the question is saying what name is given to the space. Okay, so here we just say stoma, which is a 1 mark. So let us now look at other questions. State the terms used to refer to the processes responsible for the movement of water at points L and M. So what are the terms that are going to be used to refer to the processes that are responsible for the movement of water at point L and point M? So let's take a look at the diagram. So this is our diagram right here. So we said here we have the root air cell. So this root air cell, it absorbs water from the soil by the process of osmosis. So here at point L, water is going to move through the plant by the process of what? Osmosis. So we are saying at point L, water will move by the process of osmosis. Then at point M, we are going to have water will start pulling going up through the process called the transpiration pool. Transpiration pool. So these are the two processes. So I can write our answer. Alright, so we have said at point L, water is going to move through the process of what? Osmosis. and at point M, water will move through the process of transpiration pool. All right, so we now come to question C. Give 2 reasons why it is beneficial for a plant to lose water at point O. So at point O, that is where we saw the water vapor diffusing out of the what? Of the leaf. That is where the stoma is, the stomata. So it's important for a plant to lose water at point O because it has a cooling effect. Okay, so we say it has, so that a plant will have a cooling effect. It has a cooling effect on the plant. Okay, then another benefit is that it's going to provide water that will be used for photosynthesis. So we say it provides water used for photosynthesis. So if you don't want this one, you can even write that it also enables water cycle. Okay, so these were the answers to these questions. Let us now come to our question D right here. So our question D is right here. Apart from the xylem vessel, name another vessel found in the stem used for transport. So the other vessel that will be found in the stem that will be used for transport is the phloem, vessel. Okay, so this was the answer. So let us now look at our last question, which is a question that has to do with genetics. So this is a question right here. Define each of the following terms. So gene, this is the basic. A gene is a basic unit of inheritance. All right, so a gene is a basic unit of inheritance. Genotype, this is the genetic composition of an organism. So we are saying this is the genetic makeup of an organism. So the genetic makeup of an organism is called the genotype. So these were the answers to these two questions. Let us now look at our second question. So this is our question right here. So this question, it's a question that has to do with genetics as well, and we are going to do the genetic crossing. So you need to understand this question. In a family of rats, the recessive allele causes stunted growth if it occurs in a homozygous animal. Use a genetic diagram to predict the offspring produced if 2 heterozygous rats were mated. So here they want us to draw or to use the genetic diagram if 2 heterozygous rats were mated. So heterozygous, we are looking at the type of genotype where 2 alleles are different. So we have the allele that is recessive, representing small letter a. So if you have heterozygous, it means you are going to have a normal growth and stunted growth. Okay, so first thing, you're going to write parental phenotype. So write our parental phenotype. So our parental phenotype in this case, our parental phenotype, we are saying in a family of rats, the recessive allele causes stunted growth if it occurs in a homozygous animal. So we are looking at, since these are heterozygous, one will be dominant, the other one will be the recessive. So we are looking at normal growth. So normal growth crossed with another normal growth. Normal growth crossed with another normal growth because they are heterozygous. Then from here, we are going to have parental genotype. So under parental genotype, normal growth, these are heterozygous. So we are going to have this genotype like this. Okay. Then from there, we are going to have the gametes. So these gametes, we just separate them like this. Okay, then from here we are going to do now the crossing. So we can have this crossed with this, then we have GG, then this, cross it with this, then we have G and small letter G, then we come to this one, cross it with this, GG, then we are going to have the same, this, cross it with this, then we are going to have GG. So this that you have gotten, this is the first failure offspring what genotype. Okay, all right, so here we are going to write that this is our F1, this is our F1 offspring genotype. So make sure genotype, so make sure that you write your genetic diagram neatly like this. Okay, then from here let us now look at the F1 offspring phenotype. So what will be the phenotype? So the phenotype now, we'll look at the genotype. This is DD, capital letter DD. This is homozygous dominant. So this is normal. This is normal growth. Okay. Then when you look at this one, this is heterozygous. So this one is dominant. This is recessive. So this is also normal growth. Then this one also normal growth. This one we have recessive. Okay, recessive homozygous. So this is stunted growth. This is stunted growth. So these were the answers to this question. I hope we have gotten what I've said. So I've come to the end of our biology presentation. Thank you so much. This has been your presenter, Mr. Mlenga. Bye bye.